How important is this win for Real Sociedad, and why were they ultimately able to be the ones raising the trophy?
I hope you can still hear me because I am in the stadium. The Real Sociedad fans are still here. None of them have left. And I don't know how long they're going to stay here for because all the players are still out on the pitch. They're all still celebrating. It is a magical, historical night for Real Sociedad. And Lahoud there very kindly said, I'm the main man in this day. I'm not the main man. Pellegrino Matarazzo is the main man. What he's done here is unbelievable. It is extraordinary. It is mind-blowing, the turnaround that he has done. And you're right. You know, when you get the right man in the right job at the right time, things can click. And that is what has happened here. He took over a team that was underperforming and he had good players to work with. He just needed to get them running more, playing more intelligently, playing with more confidence, people wanting the ball, people coming inside. And he's done that. And they're a really good team. And I thought in the second half here today, they sat back against Atletico Madrid, but they were kind of comfortable. Like, you can never be too comfortable in a cup final with just a 1-0 lead. But I thought they defended, generally speaking, really, really well tonight. And yes, you know, Atleti have some terrific individual players and they spent, you know, 80+ million on Julian and 40+ million on Lookman, and they both scored really good goals tonight. But generally, Real Sociedad defended really, really well. And they have ridden their luck in this competition as well. It has to be said, they've had late winners in previous rounds. They had a penalty win in previous rounds as well. But they're a terrifically organised and well-coached team. And there are other sides in La Liga, some very important sides, some very high-profile sides who do not look as well-coached as this team. And Pellegrino Matarazzo has won a trophy now. He will go on and he will build on this. He will have a full pre-season to work with the side. He will bring in players in the transfer market that he wants to work with. And this is the start of something really exciting for Real Sociedad, but also, you know, for fans in the USA of football to see someone achieving something like this. It's extraordinary. And the way that he's done it, humble, calm, intelligent speaking, everybody has bought into him right from the start. Like, I know some people who are very close to the Real Sociedad dressing room. I've been told, you know, players bought into this guy immediately. Even though he didn't speak Spanish immediately, he was able to communicate his ideas perfectly. And I'm just such a big fan of him. He's done an incredible job. And tonight it's a historic night. And also, before I finish here, I've been talking for a long time. He chose Unai Marrero in goal tonight. It was his choice. He said, I'm going to stick with my cup goalkeeper. He's my guy. I believe in him. He's the MVP of the game with 2 penalty saves. It's even more vindication for Renan.
It's amazing what we're seeing, right? And Alex, you and I were talking about it. For me, this is the biggest achievement that's ever been done by an American coach in all of world football in what we're seeing with winning this Copa del Rey. But I want to shift my attention and shift your attention to a player that when it comes to finals, he just seems to have that knack for the special moment. Now, I'm talking about Mikel Oyarzabal. I mean, he scored the decisive goal for Spain in the European Championship. He scored in 6 finals now for club and country. What did you make of his performance? And just what's his ceiling and what makes him such a just difference maker when it comes to the big moment and in finals?
Do you know what's funny, Mike? Because he said pre-game, he said this might be the biggest game of his career. And this is someone who, as you said, you know, he scored the winning goal in the final of the Euros. He scored the winning goal in the last Copa del Rey final that we were here. But that just goes to show how important this game was for Real Sociedad to be here with the fans, to win it here in front of the fans, something that hadn't happened for a generation. There's a generation of Real Sociedad fans who have never been in a stadium and seen their side win a trophy. Mikel Oyarzabal, who is a Real Sociedad fan, is a one-man club. That was so important to him. I think he's a terrific player. And I was actually speaking about this, you know, a couple of weeks ago and saying, I think it's almost a little bit odd how he's never linked with a move away to anywhere. I mean, it's great. Stay at Real Sociedad always, you know, one club man. We love it. But he's the starting centre forward for Spain. He's going to start the World Cup at centre forward for Spain. And no one ever talks about him potentially moving, potentially leaving. He's going to be 29 next week. You know, he's in his prime. And he's a centre forward who's got a great eye for goal. But he's not just that. He's really strong. He's really clever. He's really difficult to get off the ball as well. His finishing has improved massively in the last couple of years as well. I just think he's a terrific all-round player, and congratulations to him, because we love one club men, don't we? You know, someone who's at their club. This is my club, my one and only club. I don't think he's going anywhere. 75 million euros is his buyout clause, if anyone is interested. For a top proven goal scorer and proven centre forward at the highest level, I don't actually think it's that much, but yeah, he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, and someone from Basque Country obviously loves the area and loves what he is doing here at that club. Let's turn it over, though, to the runners-up in Atleti. Now, you said right here on Golazo Network that if Atleti was able to win this, it would be a very successful season for them. Obviously, that didn't happen. They still have Champions League. But if they don't get any trophies, does this season become a failure in a lot of ways for Diego Simeone?
It's difficult to call it a failure when you get to a Champions League semi-final, but not winning tonight is a massive disappointment. It is a huge blow, and they should be competing for the Copa del Rey. You know, before tonight, 6 different teams had won the Copa del Rey in the last 7 years, and Atletico Madrid are not one of them. This was a real chance for some important silverware for them, and if you win this, doesn't matter. Whatever happens, you can finish 50 points off Barcelona in the league. You've won the Copa del Rey. This is some significant silverware. It is important. So it's a massive blow for them. I don't want to say it's a failure if they don't win the Champions League, because that's obviously not correct. You know, they have to compete, but they really should be winning more trophies when they get to these kinds of situations. You know, this was a really, really good chance for them to win a trophy. And, you know, look at that starting 11. It's a starting 11 that is capable of winning domestic silverware. And Diego Simeone is phenomenally competitive, and he knows how important the trophies are to his legacy. He's the most important manager in the history of Atletico Madrid, along with Luis Aragonés. But he needs, you know, he will feel like he needs some more trophies to add to it. Listen, he can go on and win the Champions League. And if they win the Champions League, how about this? I think it might be a mic drop moment for Diego Simeone. He might just go, you know what? I've won the Champions League. I'm out. Let's go. I'll go and coach Inter. Whenever that job comes up, because that is something that he's still got in the back of his mind, being so close on 2 occasions, losing in heartbreaking fashion. So, but yeah, this will hurt tonight. And I was looking at the players there; they were really, really crestfallen. They stayed out applauding the fans for a good while, but they looked stunned. To be honest, they looked pretty stunned tonight.
Yeah, it seems like history repeating itself. You know, when you look at finals, it's the 6th time he's lost in a final, the 4th time in the domestic final. And I want to take a step back from Cholo and talk about another person who's going to be nearing a mic drop moment, and Antoine Griezmann. I mean, he's won just about everything in world football except La Liga with Atleti, and of course, the Copa del Rey. I mean, how disappointing could this be if Antoine Griezmann leaves Atleti and goes to Major League Soccer and goes trophyless in the final act of an illustrious career?
Yeah, because it was set up so beautifully as well, you know, for him to win this trophy against his former club as well. They had the sort of swan song against Barcelona in the Champions League as well, which was set up very nicely. So again, it's not going to damage his legacy. He is obviously one of the greatest players to have ever played for Atletico Madrid. A lot of people say he is the best. He's their all-time leading goal scorer. He is a phenomenal, not just a player, but someone who has shown such relentless, consistent commitment to the cause. You know, he's the hardest working superstar I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone who's that talented, track back and chase back and win so many tackles. So he's been an incredible player. But you're right. In terms of actual trophies won with Atletico Madrid, they're not as many as he would have liked, as he would have hoped. He left Atletico, joined Barcelona, and Atletico won the league title. So that's definitely in the back of his mind. And listen, if he could win the Champions League, that would be just the absolute perfect way for him to go, but it's unlikely. And this was a much better way for him to go off on a high note against Real Sociedad. And I thought he was really, really good tonight in the first half. You know, first 60 minutes, he's still so good on the ball. He's such an unbelievable player. Atletico Madrid's loss is MLS's gain, because he is going to be absolute fire next season for Orlando.
Phil, I know that you've been talking for a long time, so we'll get you out on this one, but have to ask you about another guy in attack for Antoine Griezmann, his partner, Ademola Lookman, the Nigerian international, second Nigerian to ever score in a Copa del Rey final. He really impacted the match while he was in there. What do you think that his future looks like now at Atleti? Because he's going to be there for a little while.
Yeah, it looks really bright. And this signing from, of Ademola Lookman, it's kind of gone under the radar a little bit because it was a January signing. I think maybe people didn't really realize the significance or the impact. I mean, I haven't got some friends back in the UK who were saying, oh, I didn't realize he'd gone to Atleti, has he? Oh, I didn't realize he was at Atletico Madrid. Like I said, it was kind of under the radar. He has had a massive impact. You know, the goal he scored tonight is terrific. He has scored big goals in big games. He scored on his debut for Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey quarterfinal in this stadium against Betis. He scored against Barcelona in the Champions League. He has been in the Copa del Rey as well. He has been a big game player, and his numbers are really good. You know, I think it's I don't know how off the top of my head, actually. I should have it. I have my commentary notes here, but anyway, decent numbers in 18 games. I think it's 7 or 8 goals and 4 assists as well. So he's put up decent numbers. He has impacted on this team, and I think he's a really smart signing for what wasn't a huge amount of money to get someone who you believed in, who could be a difference maker, who could be someone who. They don't really have a player like that in this team. You know, Giuliano Simeone on the other flank just runs at people in a straight line very quickly. Ademola Lookman is someone who beats people and dribbles past them in a skillful, powerful way that no one else in this team really does. So he'll be massively disappointed tonight, but I think he's already shown what he can do, and he's already had a big impact in the Atletico Madrid.
Phil, thank you so much. Always appreciate the time, and after calling 120-plus minutes, we're going to let you go on vocal rest for a little while.
Pleasure, guys. Anytime. Let's talk some more.